So nested loops in Python are useful when we want to iterate over multiple sequences, where the sequence can be a list, a tuple, or can be any string. And whenever we want to perform some matrix related operations, we also require nested loops. So what exactly nested loop is? It is nothing but a loop within another loop. Okay. So because there are two loops now, because one is outside, other one is inside. So we have two loops, that is, one is called your inner loop and the second one is your outer loop. Now, when it comes to the execution, the inner loop is going to iterate through its entire range, and whatever possible range we have, the inner loop is going to completely go through the entire range for every iteration of the outer loop, which means if the outer loop is executing only once, for that the inner loop is going to execute until the entire range that is specified. Now, when it comes to the construction of this nested loop, we can take the help of either for loops or while loops. So, nested for loops are nothing but where both the inner and outer loops are your for loops. Whereas, in case of your nested while loop, both the outer and inner loops are your while loop. Now, let's see the syntax of nested for loop. You can see here we have a outer for loop and we have a inner for loop. So this outer for loop will execute once, and for which this inner loop is going to execute till the end of all the items present in this iterable 2. And next time again the second item of iterable 1 is considered by outer loop, and for which again the variable 2 is going to go from the beginning till the end of this iterable 2. So like this, as long as this outer loop is true, the loop continue to execute. The moment the outer loop ends, this entire nested loop is going to stop. Now coming to the nested while loop, so where we have kept one while loop inside another while loop. So here this is the outer while and this is the inner while. So as we know, every while attached with a condition. So like here the outer while is attached to say one condition, condition 1. Now this condition 1, if it is true, then we will be getting into this, and then I am going to test the condition 2 which is associated with inner loop 2. So if this condition is also true, then this code will be executed. And after that, control will go back to this condition 1 to test the condition 1 for the second time. If it is true again this code will execute. Also this condition 2 is tested and followed this condition code also getting executed. Now in case this condition 1 becomes false here, so nothing will execute and your entire nested loop is going to terminate. So let's understand the nested loops by few of the examples. So in this example, we are taking the help of a nested for loop, where we can see we have taken one for loop. This is an outer for loop, and because we have applied range function here, range of 3 means the I value will start from 0, then 1 and then 2, because range of 3 is going to produce only 3 values, that is 0, 1 and 2. Now when we enter this outer loop, the I value first begins with 0. Now once I get inside this inner loop, you can see the j loop, j in range of 3. So range of 3 once again is going to produce 0, 1 and 2, which means j value will start with 0, then it is going to move on to 1, then it's going to move on to 2. Because we said already, for one time execution of the outer loop, the inner loop is going to go down till the range is finished. So because this range is going to produce 3 values, that is 0, 1, 2, which means j value will be 0, 1 and 2 for I value 0, which means you can see here for I value 0, j has become 0, 1 and 2. So once this J loop has completed, so now we will go back to the outer loop where I value changes to the next value, that is 1. And once again, when we enter the inner loop, the J again going to print 0, 1, 2, which means now IJ combination will be I is once again 1, for which J value will be 0, 1, 2 once again. Now for the next time, the last time, the I value becomes 2, and for which J value once again going to take up 0, 1, 2. As a result, I value is 2 all the time and J value has become 0, 1, 2. Now let's look into another category, that is your nested while loop. So here, because we know while loop has three portions, one is initialization, there is a condition and followed by change in value. So this I equals to 1 while I less than equal to 2 and I equal to I plus 1. So these are the three parts of your outer loop. Whereas j equals to 1 while j less than equal to 3 and j plus equal to 1. These are the three parts which belongs to your inner loop. So when it comes to the execution, so we do start from I equals to 1. Now we check this condition, that is 1 less than equal to 2. So I is 1 for the time being. Now j has started with 1 and this while loop you can see while j less than equal to 3 means j 1 less than equal to 3, that is true. So I'm going to get I value and j value, which is nothing but 1 each. Now immediately what happens, j becomes j plus 1 means j becomes 2, keeping the I value same. So as a result, I is 1, j is 2 next time. Similarly, j plus plus makes it j value 3 now. So keeping the I value fixed 1, j becomes 3. Now this inner loop is going to end because j will now become 4. So as a result, 4 less than equal to 3, this is false. Hence the inner loop is ending for the first time. Now when we come out, so we have this change in value of outer loop, that is I equal to I plus 1 makes it I value 2 now. So once again we check the condition of outer loop, that is 2 less than equal to 2 is true. So once again your j value is going to begin with 1 and similarly like we have got previously, we are going to get the j value as 1, 2 and 3 for the same value of I, that is 2. Later on, when j becomes 4, this inner loop is going to end. Now when I plus equal to 1, this I now becomes your 3. Now when we check this outer condition, 3 less than equal to 2, so this is also becoming false because the outer loop is tested false. I mean the condition tested false. Hence this entire nested loop is going to stop. In the meantime, we have got this set of outputs. So let's see one more example where we are trying to find out, printing the table of numbers from 1 to 10 using nested for loop. Okay. So rather, right, it has to be 6, sorry, it has to be 5. Okay. So what we have trying to do is, I'm trying to get the table of 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then finally 5. And my output should be like this. Suppose I have 1 to start with. So 1 into 1, 1, 1 into 2, 2, 1 into 3, 3, then 4 up to 10. So next time my table has to be, 2. So 2 into 1, that is 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, like that up to 20. And this has to continue up to 5. So last one will be 5 into 1, 5, then 5 into 2, 10, up to 5 into 10, that is 50. Now let us see how we are able to get this. So we took some outer for loop where you can see the I value is in the range of 1, 6, which means I value will start with 1. 6 means the end value means top value minus 1, that is up to 5, which means I value will start from 1 and it is going to go till the I value is 5. Now, once the I value is going to be 1, we will enter into this body. So what we are printing here, we are printing the present value of I. What is that? 1. Okay. And this end equal to space means I'm keeping the I value printing, and I'm in the same line only. Now when it starts with the inner loop, that is for j in range of I, what is I value? That is 1. I into 10 plus 1. So I into 10 means 1 into 10, that is 10. 10 plus 1, that is 11. So the range is now I is 1, 1, comma 11, comma I. What is I here? 1. So starting from 1 goes up to 11. 11 minus 1, that is 10. And each time the increment is 1. So what the values are expected here? J is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, up to 10. So as a result of which we get like 1, this is the I value, and these are the values of J. Now once we could print all the values of J, this print function is going to bring the cursor to the new line. Now once again I go down to the outer loop where the I value has become now 2. So this print statement is going to print 2, okay, and then this J loop is going to start from, what is the I value now? It is 2, comma 2 into 10 plus 1, that is 20 plus 1, that is 21. And what is the step value? I is nothing but 2. So just imagine range function 2 comma 21 comma 2 means it is going to produce 2 up to what? Up to 20. Each time the change in value, I mean the step value is 2. I mean 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, up to, sorry, 6, 8, 10, like up to 20 we are going to get. Very similarly, for the next 3 iterations, for 3 we are going to get the 3 table, for 4 we are going to get the 4 table, similarly for 5 we are going to get the 5 table.